Well, hi everyone. Welcome. I thought I'd do a quick video just to show you the basic setup for VS Code. I know sometimes we're not all familiar with it, and certainly my instructions in text and then links to elsewhere could be a little difficult, so I thought I'd give you a quick video to show you how to set it up. All right, here we go. So this is VS Code, Visual Studio Code. You can download for pretty much any operating system you want. Real easy. So I have it installed here, and I'm going to move this out of the way again, and we are going to need to install the extension. So first thing we want to do is we want to be able to use code to install it, and guess what? It's not found. But that's pretty easy to deal with because I can start Visual Studio. I can do a Command Shift P. All right, get over these. I've been running it before and it asked me lots of things. And you can see right here under Shell Command, there's Install Visual Studio Code in Path. So I can select that, and it says it successfully installed it. Now I can quit this Visual Studio Code, and now I should have something like, there it is. And if I do that, it just starts it. Okay. Now, having done that, it started in another window. It's right here. Okay. So I have two displays. And so that's why you see me drag things in from the left. That's my company logo in case you're wondering. Okay. And ignore all the stuff over here. It's just me. It's cleaner than normal. I have a cleaner desktop than normal. Okay. So the next thing we need, extension, and I'm going to go here like we all will because this is where I put it, and there's a new extension, and so I'm going to say download this little puppy, and I'm just going to put it on my desktop so you're not wondering where things are. I never do this, but I'll do it for now. And so again, we'll make this go away. Here you see it on my desktop. So the next thing I'm going to do here, and now you can see that I have the installer. You can unpack it just by double clicking on it in the case of Macs, or you can just unzip it, whatever you're going to do. I'm just going to unclick it or double click it. And now you can see that I've got the VisX file right here. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is just install it. Pardon my typing. And that's all there is to it. So I got the command line, and then I said, hey, there's my extension file that I just downloaded from the forums. And now I said, install that. And it just did. So we're in good shape, and we're pretty much done with command line. Okay, we've just finished installing the extension. And so I'm going to delete these two files. We don't need these anymore. And just clean up the desktop so it's back to what it was. Now let's start Visual Studio Code. We're going to double check that our extension is now installed. And I think you'll recognize the logo when you get there. Looks a lot like this one. So here's our logo. And in the text, I said, in the forum post, I said, please check these because we're going to tell you things. And so here's how code outline works. When I add new features, I'll tell you how the new features work. So that's why that's there. Feature contributions. Currently, there are two themes. Cluso's original and this one. I'm still fixing this, but there's my test one. And it's distributing this extension as well. And then here's the changelog. And so you can see what I am working on, what I'm likely to be doing next, and here's what's in this release. The topmost one here will always be the current release when you install it. Now you notice it says color theme, so I'm just going to select. When it has that, it's because I have two, so I'm just going to set the default to be the one I'm using for testing and developing the themes. And you'll see it's kind of a high color theme. The point being that when I see different colors arrive, I know that my syntax highlighting has identified pieces correctly. You'll also quickly recognize that pieces aren't being recognized yet. The point there is that as I'm fixing regular expressions and things go into and out of my desired highlighting. And so I've got to keep an eye on everything. And so I have test files that I use to display it. Okay, let's go look at some code. Okay, so here we are. I've opened a folder that has a lot of the code that's distributed with Peanut. And so you can see that as you look at this now, it's all highlighted. You can tell what's commented and what's not. And you can see the different elements of the code being highlighted. And you can see that I'm missing some highlights. Okay, this is a great check. I'll go in and get these working right away too. Anyway, so you can be expecting another edit as I fix these. There is still Pasm stuff that I'm working on, as you saw in the notes. And so don't be surprised by these. I'll continue to get these fixed as with every test. I just hadn't gone in and tested. I hadn't looked at these example code yet, and I'll do that. You can also see a couple things happening. We now have outline features available. You see, now as I scroll through these, you can see what the coloring looks like. Debug statements and debug methods are all in this orange color for me. Comments are all in the green. I have flow control in yellow for spin. I have basic spin commands in this bluish. All the numbers are in the bluish that kind of match the prop tool at this point. All of this is configurable by yourself with the themes. However, you can use pretty much, I've built this so you can use pretty much anything you want. So here I am looking at the code. Gosh, I got to get these fixed. So watch for a new release quickly, but I wanted to get this out so you can see how to install it and how to run it. So this is what our syntax highlighting looks like. As you can see here, this is a document. That doesn't help us much. Not a lot of syntax there. All right, here's colored code here. You can see what it looks like and how quickly you can recognize whether things are working or not. Yeah, I'm going to run through these and get all the assembly fixed. Also, you can see methods show up in the files as we move. Sections show up. I'm going to go back up to the OBEX and we'll look at files out here. And let's just take a look at some code out here. So you can see what things are looking like, what the coloring looks like. With the braces, with the dock single braces, they'll also show up in the section. So you can actually name your sections just by putting that in there. Also, you'll notice that this doesn't appear to be... starts with an object. It starts with a con and then an object. That's not what's happening here. So let's change this to sort by position. And now you get the organization of your file. And you can see where things are. And so here's our start method. And just by clicking on them, you can go to them. The other thing that's really nice is you have that up here as well. And so here I am in ANSI2 Spin. I can click here to get to a different file, or I can click here to get to a different location within the method. And so there you are. That's how outline is working. And that's how you can add comments to the outline. Let's just continue our tour. And let's look at the DC motor from John McPhailin. And here you can see, again, my uniquely bright colors. Ignore that. And you can see that we have a bit of a naming issue too, where values, numeric values in constants or in names are still being picked out as numbers, and we'll fix that over time. We just can't yet. And so here you can see the dot comments showing up a little bit brighter, regular comments not, and you can see how things are organized. DC motor, and so you can see that it's pretty easy to read this now, and we're getting there. The last thing I want to show you is that you really can. I'm going to go to Preferences, Color Theme. And now you can see where our themes are here. And so this is Iron Sheep. Don't go there yet. I haven't fixed it. Next release, maybe. Should be real close because I want to get that working for Ray. Anyway, I think it was only a test theme anyway, but I still want to have it there. So let's go take a look. I don't know which themes you prefer, but I tend to like the dark themes. And so I don't like a non-black background though, so this isn't one of my favorite, but you can see what it's doing. Looking to see if we have some assembler somewhere here. Yep. And so you can see that it's not one of my favorites, but it's real easy to change themes. So preferences, color theme, and let's go out to default dark. That's a little bit more usable. And gosh, I can't believe I missed those frequently used instructions. Anyway, the assembly language will turn out blue. You should see that if we're doing conditional instructions, the conditions will be in blue. Affecting flags will be in blue. And so that's just all the syntax color highlighting. Semantic color highlighting will actually let us color variables based on where they're defined. And every time they're referenced, they'll be colored similarly. And you can see variables and constant names just aren't being picked up right now because you can't do that from the syntax highlighter. Okay, I'm hoping this gives you a good view of what this looks like and how this works. I hope this helps you get started, and good luck with it all. Please enjoy. Please forward comments to me in the forum. If you're a GitHub user, then please feel free to file issues at the GitHub repo for this extension. I'll be tracking the issues there and putting up releases. Thank you so much for your attention.